horror movie characters had common sense. Horror movies often rely on characters making questionable decisions to build tension and advance the plot. But what if horror movie characters actually had common sense? Here's a look at how some iconic horror films might have unfolded if the characters used their heads. Number 1. The Cabin in the Woods. Common sense move, don't split up. In The Cabin in the Woods, a group of friends head to a remote cabin, and predictably, everything goes wrong. One of their biggest mistakes was splitting up. If they had stuck together, they could have watched each other's backs, making it much harder for any monsters or killers to pick them off one by one. Number 2, Nightmare on Elm Street. Common sense move, stay awake or seek professional help. Freddy Krueger attacks his victims in their dreams. Instead of trying to face Freddy alone, the kids of Elm Street should have sought to professional help. A sleep specialist or psychologist could have offered treatments or strategies to help them prevent them from falling asleep or to control their dreams. Number 3. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Common sense move, avoid isolated areas. In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the characters stumble upon a cannibalistic family in an isolated area. If they had avoided venturing into remote, uncharted territories and stuck to populated areas, they might have avoided the gruesome fate altogether. Number 4. Friday the 13th. Common sense move, check the camp's history. Before reopening Camp Crystal Lake, it would have been prudent to research its history. Discovering the series of murders and strange occurrences that happened there might have deterred the counselors from reopening it, potentially avoiding Jason Voorhees' wrath. Number 5. Scream. Common sense move, don't answer the phone. In Scream, the killer taunts his victims with phone calls before attacking. If the characters had simply ignored unknown calls or used caller ID to screen their calls, they could have avoided engaging with the killer and reduced their chances of being targeted. Number 6. The Ring. Common sense move, don't watch the cursed tape. The plot of The Ring centers around cursed tape, that videotape that kills anyone that watches it within 7 days. If the characters had resisted the urge to watch the tape, or if they had immediately destroyed it upon learning about its curse, they could have broken the cycle of death. Number 7. Jaws. Common sense move, close the beach. Upon realizing that there's a massive man-eating shark in the waters, the logical step would have been to close the beaches until the shark was dealt with. Instead, the authorities' refusal to do so led to more victims. Public safety should always come first in such scenarios. Number 8. The Blair Witch Project. Common sense move, stick to the trail. In the Blair Witch Project, the characters venture off the trail in search of the Blair Witch, leading them deeper into danger. If they had stayed on the marked paths and avoided the allure of the unknown, they could have minimized the risk of getting lost or encountering malevolent forces. Number 9. It Follows. Common sense move, use technology and teamwork. In It Follows, a supernatural entity stalks its victims relentlessly. Instead of dealing with the entity alone, the characters could have used technologies like GPS trackers, security cameras, and coordinated efforts with friends and authorities to monitor and evade the entity more effectively. Number 10, Pet Cemetery. Common sense move, respect the warnings. When multiple people warn you that burying anything in a certain cemetery would bring it back to life in a twisted form, it's best to heed their advice. The characters in Pet Cemetery could have avoided unimaginable horror by respecting local legends and warnings about the burial grounds. By applying common sense, many of the dire situations in movies, horror movies could have been avoided, leading to significantly less terrifying outcomes. However, this would also mean the loss of the tension and excitement that would make these films so thrilling. So while we might get screaming at characters to make smarter choices, we secretly love watching their missteps and the chaos that ensues.